Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today is the fourth and final vlog for 31 books in 31 days. I can't believe how fast this month has gone. It's absolutely flying by. And today is Monday the 27th. So this vlog is only going to go until Halloween, which is 5 days long. So I'm pretty anxious, actually, I've got to be honest. I'm anxious for multiple reasons. I actually have a smear test this morning, but I'm pretty anxious about getting this completed because I'm behind. I've got 7 books left to complete and there's only 5 days of the week and it's the busiest week of the month for me. So today I am working for myself from home. I'm doing sprints this afternoon, but because I've got that smear test this morning and they exhaust the life out of me because they are truly horrible, actually, truly horrible. If you are due one, do not forget to book in. They're so important. This is your reminder your gentle reminder to book in. They are truly important. They're bloody awful, but they're truly important. So don't forget to book in if you are due one. But yeah, they exhaust the life out of me because they're so uncomfortable and I work myself up so much before I go that I have delayed sprints until 12. So I have a little bit of time. If when I get back, my appointment is in an hour. If when I get back, I am knackered, I can go back to bed, have a little nap. But I'm going to try and plough through the day. I've got a lot to do today. So today I have a doctor's appointment at 9:30. I've got a sprint starting at 12. Andy's on a 9 to 5 today, so he will be home earlier. But I'm probably going to carry on with sprints into the evening. He can keep himself company. The new It Derry series is coming out today, so I think he might want to watch that, although there's only one episode, so he's gutted about that. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm working at my dad's and my brother's. Thursday, I'm in Liverpool for the Good Spirits event by BK Borison with Sangu Mandana. That's in the evening though, so I do have a good chunk of Thursday before then. Friday, I am working at the pub 3 till 10, so I've got the morning and early afternoon, but then I'm working at the pub. So that's how my week's looking. Then Saturday and Sunday, which won't be in this vlog, I'm working again at the pub on Saturday, and then Sunday I have off. But we'll be ending this vlog on Friday, and I'll probably finish this vlog off with a little wrap up at the end of the vlog of everything that I read for 31 books in 31 days. A pretty rapid one as well. So what am I planning on reading this week? I actually have a pretty rigid schedule for a book a day plus the 2 books that I'm partway through. So I am partway through Take My Love by Brooke Montgomery. If you're coming straight from vlog 3, you will know where I'm up to in that. But that is page 154, 42% in. I'm reading this one at night when I go to bed, so I'm confident that I'll get that done by the end of the week. And then I'm also reading The Black Girl Survives in this one, which is a horror anthology. And I'm really enjoying so far. And I'm on page 187. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 short stories left to go. So I need to do more than 1 a day of these. I have been doing that in general. I've been doing either 1 a day or I've been plowing through like 3 a day. So we'll see what happens with that. But I also want to finish that one going off in the background as well. So that's 2 books and then a book a day for each day. So today, my intention is to go for Undead and Unwed by Sam Tashida. I really hope that this plan works out because what I'm planning on doing is getting through a bunch of arcs that have either very recently come out this month or are about to come out or will come out. I'm picking them up on release day. So Undead and Unwed for today by Sam Tashida. Sam Tashida. This is Bridget Jones's Diary meets What We Do in the Shadows in this darkly funny and cozy romantic comedy about a vampire finding herself and falling in love during the Christmas season. Now, I know this is a Christmas book, but it's got a vampire in it, so it is what it is. And this one comes out tomorrow. So I feel like today's a good time to get to it. I have the audiobook from Libro as an ALC. So yay for that. Tomorrow, I'm planning on picking up Spellfire by Agatha Willow, I think the author's name is. So that one is a shorter one. I think it's just over 7 hours. I have the audiobook on BookBeat. Then on Wednesday, The Menu of Happiness by Hisashi Kashiwai. This is the 3rd book in the Kamigawa Food Detectives, and I'm so excited about picking this one up again. Another shorty patootie to work in with work. So the audiobook again is on BookBeat. Then on Thursday, Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews comes out. So I've already pre-ordered the audiobook and I'm planning on reading that one on Thursday before I go to the Good Spirits event in the evening. And then on Friday, we're going to wrap the whole week up. So that will be 4 arcs done and dusted that I can get some reviews out for, which is fantastic. And then on Friday, we're just going to wrap things up very nicely before I go to work with Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Realm and Faith Erin Hicks, my annual reread of this. I'm just going to read this one because I feel like that's the nice thing to do to myself after putting myself through all of those arcs. So that is my plan for the week. I do have quite a rigid plan. I am aware of that. These are all of the books that I'm planning on picking up this week. Fingers crossed I do manage this, because I don't tell you anymore what I'm planning on picking up for the week. But I'm you know, committed this week to getting through some of these arcs and trying to tick them off. All of these either come out or have come out in October already, like Spellfire and The Menu of Happiness came out earlier in October, and then Undead and Unwed tomorrow, and C.G. Drew's new one on Thursday. So I'm reading it on release day. So that's the plan, Stan. If I don't get it finished on Thursday, I can go into Friday with it a little bit, because I'm only planning on finishing this. And the other reason why I've done that is so that if I've fallen behind a little bit with either of these two, I can commit to these two as well on Friday with a bit more time. So that is my plan. But today, obviously, I have now 55 minutes until my doctor's appointment. It will only take me about 10-15 minutes to walk down there, so I'm going to set off about 9:15. The weather is fucking awful, but it'll do me some good to get out of the house and get a walk. And then I need to edit this the previous vlog, so I'm going to do a little bit of that now before I set off, and then I'm hoping to get that edited and exporting before my sprint start at 12. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go, and I will check back in with you when I have a reading update for you. Okay. It's a little bit later on in the day. It's currently 2:06. I am on sprints, and I have actually DNF'd my first book for the week. Oh, I just love that for me. So I decided to pick up Undead and Unwed by Sam Tashida. I don't know how many times I have to do that. Sam Tashida. I was really excited about this. Very, very keen for this book. It was pitted as Bridget Jones's Diary meets What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know what We Do in the Shadows is. But in this darkly funny and cozy romantic comedy about a vampire finding herself and falling in love during the Christmas season. So we're following Tiffany, and she has assumed the identity of somebody else. She's the 300-year-old vampire, and she lives in LA. Now, she's friends with this woman called Heaven. She works in a blood bank, and she has an ex-boyfriend called Vlad. So one night, she has a little bit too much to drink, alcohol, and she ends up biting and killing Heaven. And then she finds herself on the run. It turns out that the person's identity she has assumed has inherited this place. It's like an inn. And she makes the decision to take Heaven with her and move to this place. So that's what she ends up doing. She's obviously then trying to coach Heaven in being a vampire. And this place is like really... You know, it's near Christmas time, it's snowing, she meets this Christmas tree farmer, and she ends up going on a date with him, then Vlad turns up, and all of this stuff. And it's very Hallmark movie-esque. I love a good Hallmark movie, don't get me wrong. They're cheesy, sometimes it's exactly what I need, but I've got to be in the right mood for it. Now, I will say... Tiffany ends up starting to date this guy called Tyrone, and in my personal opinion, I think that entire plot line is pointless. I know exactly where the story is going, and it's not in that direction. I think the whole thing's pointless, and the idea behind it is that it drags the story out a little bit. I think that this book would work better as a novella. Focus on Tiffany as a vampire, trying to reconnect with the world and trying to reconnect with people, trying to reconnect with herself, finding herself a little bit. I think this would have worked so much better as a novella rather than throwing in a random romance that's just not going to stick. So I've ended up DNFing it. I'm just not enjoying it. I had 2.5 hours left of the audiobook. It's like a 10-hour audiobook, completely unnecessarily long. And I had 2.5 hours left. I was 48% in. I just couldn't do it anymore. I just really didn't care. And I could have left it on while I did some mindless shit, but I haven't really got much mindless shit to be doing. So it seems like a waste of my time. Not only that, but it's probably not going to get a reasonable rating from me either. So I've ended up DNFing it at this point. And I think what I'm actually going to do instead, because I can't waste time now deciding what to do next. So I think I'm actually just going to pick up a graphic novel, something quick to get through for myself. And then I can move back into some of my physical reads. So maybe do one or two of the short stories from The Black Girl Survives in this one. Either that or actually just focus on finishing that book, and then the only physical read I've got this week is Take My Love. Maybe I'll do that, we'll see. But the book I'm going to pick up is Coven by Saman Nanny. I actually got this one from HarperCollins very recently because I helped them out with a sale that they were doing. And this one says, need your magical crime solved? Call the Witch Coven. Hester, Annadale and Dot are legendary across the endless woods as vigilante detectives and protectors of the peace. The famed trio are not only talented witches but also ride or die friends who've never left a case unsolved. That is, until the Coven answers a call for help for a mysterious new world. Red Isle, where the light and dark lands are on the brink of an all-out war, each blaming the other for a grim spree of deaths. Now, the Coven must work together and unmask the killer before Red Isle tears itself apart. Little do they know, the real enemy might be hiding in plain sight. A bold graphic novel experience that explores how even in our darkest moments, the truest of friends can bring us back into the light. It sounds really good and the illustration style looks really nice. So I'm intrigued. So I'm going to give this a go and then move on to one of my physical reads and try and make some decent progress in one of those. So that's the plan, and that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my day, I reckon. I'm all right with that. I could have moved on to another one of my arcs and just tried to get through one of the shorter ones, like Menu of Happiness is only like 5.5 hours or something on audio. So I could have tried to get through that today, but I think I need to focus on some of my physical reads, and now seems like a good enough time as any. I don't actually have anything else to do while listening to an audiobook, so it seems like a reasonable time to do some physical reading. If I'm struggling with it, I'll move back to an audiobook, but I'm just in a little bit of pain, I will say, from having my smear test done this morning. So I'm feeling slightly uncomfortable. So I'm like up, down a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, going to do Coven and then I will figure out what to do next. Hello, I'm here to give you one final update for Monday. It's about to be 5 o'clock and I've just come off sprints with patrons. I wanted to go for another couple of hours this evening, but I am feeling a little bit rough, honestly, from that appointment this morning. That was not a good appointment, and it's no fault of the nurses whatsoever. I've just been feeling very rough since then. I'm in a little bit of pain. And it's just not been a great day. So I wanted to come on and let you know that I did in fact finish Coven by Saman Nanny. I didn't realise, but this is actually associated with the School for Good and Evil. I just assumed it was by the same author and that was it, the only association. That is not the case. I believe some of these characters are from I was about to say TV series. It has been turned into a TV series, but the series, The School for Good and Evil, I haven't read it. So I'm not familiar with the characters, but I've had a quick Google and you don't need to have read The School for Good and Evil to read this. The idea is that it can be read as a standalone. It can actually be an introduction to The School for Good and Evil. So That's good news. I actually really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 stars. We are following the witches and they try and help people out wherever they can. And they do find themselves going to, where was it called? Red Isle, where they're having problems with light and dark and taking stuff out of the ground essentially to help them fuel their lives. But also it's causing problems with the other side. And then each side is accusing the other of causing problems that they're not causing. There is something else going on in the background. And it was really good. I loved the illustration style. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And I really enjoyed the story. I got really invested in the characters, actually. And I don't think I would mind trying School for Good and Evil now, actually. I've never had anything against it. It's not that I've never wanted to pick it up, but there were so many middle grade series that I was picking up back when I was reading middle grade that I just didn't make time for it, and now I don't read a lot of middle grade anymore, but I reckon that maybe I might enjoy it. I think it's maybe more on the YA than middle grade side of things, so I wouldn't mind trying School for Good and Evil. I've heard nothing but good things, and the fact that it's been turned into a TV series is pretty good. So yeah, this one 4.5 stars for Coven, so that got me, I now need to complete 6 books for this week, which is good. It got me another book down. I read another short story out of The Black Girl Survives in this one. So I actually think it's like 6 or 7 stories left in that. I was going to continue on, but I was actually nodding off while reading that. And then I moved on to an audiobook on that basis. I then moved on to an audiobook of another one of the arcs that I want to complete this week, thinking that if I at least start it, then that will get me ahead. And I just moved on to The Menu of Happiness because it's a story I'm familiar with, it's characters I'm familiar with, and I thought while I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling a little bit dodgy, and I'm just feeling very, very tired, that this would be a good one to pick up. So The Menu of Happiness is the 3rd book in the Kamigawa Food Detective series, which is basically a series that follows a father-daughter duo that run a restaurant in which people can come in and basically say to them, they get essentially like a free meal to try some of their food first, but then they have like a meeting with the daughter and basically say to them, like, I have this memory of this meal and this is what it tasted like and this is what it represented and these are the feelings that it gave me and the memories that I had, whether it be associated with like a grandparent, something that they used to make them, or whether it was that they went for a meal with a certain somebody that's no longer with them, or for whatever reason. And basically the father-daughter duo will figure out how to make this meal again, and then the people come back some weeks later maybe, or some days later, and have the meal. And it's just a very, very sweet set of stories. I really enjoy it. I think it works really, really well because it is basically different people at each moment that are coming in, and it's a different story that they're telling every time. So we get a collection of, I don't know how many people in general that you get, but I just think it's a really, really sweet story, and I've really enjoyed this series so far. I really loved the first 2, so I'm excited to be back with this father-daughter duo. It's really, really sweet, and I just really enjoyed the story. It is translated fiction. Like I say, this is the 3rd one. The first one is called the Kamigawa Food Detectives. Yeah, and then the second one is The Restaurant of Lost Recipes, with the 3rd one being The Menu of Happiness. So I'm enjoying the audiobook of this so far, and I am currently, because I have the arc on my Kindle as well, I'm currently 23% into this one. I've stopped in the middle of the chapter. I may carry on, just get to the end of the chapter, or I might just leave it, but it's got me a head start on that, and now I only have 2 hours of the audiobook left to potentially complete tomorrow. So I could complete that tomorrow and start Spellfire, because that one is a little bit longer, which means that then I can split it over tomorrow and Wednesday a little bit better. I probably should have started that one, but I wanted something where I was familiar with people and familiar with the characters. So we'll see what happens. It may get to a point where Wednesday I may end up needing to pick something else up instead of Spellfire now that I've picked up The Menu of Happiness early. We'll see what happens. If I can get through at least 3 arcs this week, I will be happy with that. So that would be, I've ended up DNFing The Undead and Unwed, The Menu of Happiness, and then obviously I'm definitely doing Hazel Thorne on Thursday on release day. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully if I can get to Spellfire as well, that would be fantastic, but we'll see. Oh, actually, another arc that I am currently reading this week and keep forgetting because I'm not audiobooking is Take My Love. So that would be another one. So yeah, if I could get through at least 4, let's say, this week on that basis. If I don't get to Spellfire, I won't be too mad about it. If I need to substitute that for another graphic novel or another manga, that's absolutely fine. We are at crunch time and I do want to make sure that I get this challenge completed because I'm going to be so pissed if in the home stretch I cock it all up. So anyway, I'm going to go. Just wanted to make this last update, let you know I'd finished Coven and moved on to the Menu of Happiness, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Okay, good morning. It is Tuesday and it is 8:30. I'm up and I'm ready to go to work reluctantly. I feel very headachy and tired this morning. I don't know if it's because it's the first morning we've got the heating on, it's changing the weather maybe, I don't know. But I did actually sit and read for like 2 hours solid last night on my Kindle, so it could be that as well. But a quick update on reading before I'm not going rushing off to work, before I go to work in a little bit. I did manage to make some progress in the Menu of Happiness. I'm 28% into that, hopeful to get that finished today. And then really enjoying it, having a good time. I'm partway through the second story. I could probably actually fit like, I don't know, 45 minutes of the audiobook of that in before I leave for work. And then I also continued on with Take My Love by Brooke Montgomery, which is book 2 in the Willow Branch series. Willow Branch Mountain series. And I'm now 75% in. I'm on page 280. I was on page 154. So I read like 120 odd pages yesterday, and made some decent progress in it. I'm liking it. I'm not loving this one as much as I really enjoyed the first one. And I was excited for this one as well because it's brother's best friend. It is semi-second chance. It's a little bit sneaking around, do you know what I mean? But I'm just not enjoying it as much. I wasn't feeling the vibes between them for a little bit. And then there was an element of them looking to date elsewhere and help each other with that I didn't enjoy exploring either. And the other thing I'm not enjoying too much either is the dirty talk between these two. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a little bit of dirty talk. I like the dirty talk that makes you go, sir, or ma'am. You know what I mean? He keeps calling her mama and it's freaking me out and there's no reason for it. She's not a mother. She's not pregnant. She's not had a child. You don't need to be called mama, you know, fair enough. But it didn't, it's just freaking me out. I thought at first that it was a spelling mistake and was meant to be ma'am. And I was like, I'm all right with that. But no, it's meant to be mama. I think they have a breeding kink. It's freaking me out a little bit. I don't know. It's giving me the ick ever so slightly. And I'm sad about that. I am really sad about it because if you've been here for a while, you will know that I read the whole of Brooke's other series, which is the cousin series to this one, if that makes any sense. So that series, for example, Landon from that series, only because we've been talking about him because he's about to have his wedding at Willow Branch Mountain. He's the cousin of Posey, who we're following in this series. So it is literally the cousin series. That family is the cousin to this family. So I've been excited for this series for a while because we were exploring these people in that series, and I've read all of those books completely out of order, but I've read all of those books. After saying that, I haven't loved them all. So they've not all been 4 or 5 stars. So it's not going to be weird for this not to be. I just feel weird about it because it's an arc and it's bothering me a little bit. I don't like when this happens. I hate when this happens. So yeah, I'm not loving it. I've got to be honest. We'll see how this one turns out, but I think I've got less than... just shy. I've got 98 pages left in this one. And I'm hopeful that maybe on the basis that I ploughed through so much of this last night, that maybe I might be able to do the same thing again tonight. So maybe it'll depend because I've still got Menu of Happiness as well and I've got about 2 hours left in that. But if I can get through some of that this morning, maybe I can finish that off later and then wrap up Take My Love later on, and that'll be 2 books done today. And then I can focus on my physical read of this then to wrap this up for the week, and then start something else on audio. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. My next audio should be Spellfire in theory, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know whether I should pick something, I don't know. It's only 7 hours though, to be fair. It's not like it's that long, and I could potentially still get that done tomorrow after work. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to come on, give you an update on Take My Love. I'm not loving it, I've got to be honest. It's not doing it for me, which is a shame, and I'm sad about, but there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. So yeah, I can't be bothered today, truly can't be bothered. I am getting my hair done today though, and that I am excited about. We're going for a big chop. I don't know how big of a chop, but we're going for a big chop because these ends are absolutely dead and it's in desperate need, and I'm at a point where I just want to shave all my hair off. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think I've been this frustrated with my hair in a long time. It's fallen out significantly. My scalp is in a horrendous state at the moment, and I just don't know where it's come from. And then just my hair in general, it just feels like straw. It's awful. So I think I need to switch up my routine. There's just so much information on it that I've got absolutely no idea what to do with it. And then I'm just going to get a really big chunk cut off. I don't know where I'm going to go to. I don't want to cut too much off because I do want it long for the wedding, but maybe it's in need. It is in need. It's no maybe about it. It is in need for a really good chop. We'll see. Anyway, that's happening today, so if my hair looks a little bit different tomorrow, you know why. Okay, hello. It is Wednesday. It's currently Wednesday afternoon. I'm actually home from work early. It's 5 to 2. I'm home from work early because I'm going to be doing the invoices from home. Actually, I may have to go into the office because I left the office computer in the office instead of in my bag. So I'm doing those on Friday morning before I have my shift at the pub on Friday afternoon. So I finished a little bit earlier today to allow for that. So I'm back home, which means that I've got some time to get some reading in today, which is fantastic. I didn't have as much time as I'd hoped yesterday to get some reading in. I ended up staying at Matt's for tea last night. Me and Andy hadn't seen Matt, Tara and the kids for over a week because they came down with the bit of D&V last week and we wanted to stay clear of it. So we hadn't seen them for like a week, and Andy's on a 9 to 5 at the moment. So he finished work and then came to Matt and Tara's and we had tea with them. I also got my hair done yesterday. I had quite a chunk cut off, so it's feeling a little bit better, which is great news, and the colour's looking better, which is also fabulous news. So a lot happened yesterday. I also finished a book yesterday. I did finish Take My Love by Brooke Montgomery, which is book 2 in the Willow Branch Mountain series. And I ended up giving this one 2.5 stars. And I'm actually really gutted about it. I had an arc of this. It did officially come out on the 22nd of October. But I had an arc of it and I actually had to like submit my thoughts on this book with my 2.5 star rating to the author. And I feel really, really bad about it because I've been reading arcs of Brooke's books for probably about a year now. I think I've had 1, 2, 3, 4. This was probably my 5th one that I've had. So yeah, I was pretty gutted, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. This, like I say, is book 2 in the series. In book 1, we've got Warren and Maisie, who are a second chance romance. Actually, I forgot that was a thing. But second chance romance, they're actually married, and she ends up coming back to Willow Branch Mountain to ask him to sign divorce papers because she wants to get married to someone else. And he's like, spend a week with me and let's see how this goes. So in book 2, we've got Posey, Warren's younger sister, and Silas, Warren's best friend. Now, this ends up also being a second chance romance. They slept together at Warren and Maisie's wedding 8 years ago, and she overheard Silas telling Warren in the queue the following morning that he doesn't really remember anything about the night after the cake cutting. So she doesn't speak to Silas for a couple of years. And then one night, while Warren is down in the dumps about the fact that him and Maisie have split and he's drinking himself stupid, Silas is round at Warren's house and Posey's ended up coming round to try and get him because he's late for dinner or something, and ends up bumping into Silas there. They end up taking care of Warren, and then while they're outside they have a conversation. Turns out Silas did remember. He was just trying to get Warren out off his back, and he was like, of course I remembered, as if I could forget, it's ingrained in my memory, blah, blah, blah. And Posey's like, oh my God, maybe this is my chance. And then he says, but I'm seeing someone and I feel like I need to give this a chance. So she's like immediately ego boost and then shut down in one breath, and she's absolutely devastated. So then that's it, then she doesn't speak to him for another like handful of years, and then we come to present day, and he is being thrown out of his house. His wedding is cancelled 2 weeks before it happens, and he has no job. So he comes back to Willow Branch Mountain. He asks Warren and Maisie for some help, whether or not he can stay with them just while he gets back on his feet, until he suddenly realises that obviously they've not long since got back together, and, you know, as new relationships do, you don't really want to be around them for too long. So Maisie kind of like sets him up with Posey, and he's like, Posey has a spare room, she can use some help around the farm, go and help her. So that's what ends up happening. However, there was multiple things about this that bothered me. Things that I loved: being back at Willow Branch Mountain, seeing Warren and Maisie again. The ghost that lives in Posey's house, Marjorie, loved her. She was outstanding. The star of the show for me. And also being able to see Landon and Ellie again, who are characters from the Sugarland Creek series, which is the cousin series to Willow Branch Mountain. So outstanding for all of those. The things that I did not like: Posey and Silas together. I couldn't back it, and I couldn't figure out why. I just felt like the relationship felt really forced. It didn't feel natural. It felt a little bit forced. We've got this situation where he's trying to help her out with a sexual issue that she has. She feels like he's ruined her for all men, and the last time she had an orgasm was with him, and this is why none of her relationships work. So he's like, okay, I can help you out with this. Let's go. So that's how things get going again with these two. And it just felt a little bit forced for me. I don't get me wrong, like the Kiss Quotient, I love a book where somebody is helping somebody out in the sex department, trying to help them learn their body and learn how things work. But it almost seemed like there is no way that she could have an orgasm without his assistance. And it's just crazy to me. So that felt a little bit forced. I couldn't get behind it. As it turned out, when I read a couple of reviews, a lot of the reviews for this are glowing, by the way. When I read a couple of the reviews, it's probably because I feel like she's a second choice for him. He never put her first in the past, and it really pisses me off. So maybe that's the reason why. And then the other thing that gave me the ick was he kept calling her mama during sex. So during dirty talk, he kept calling her mama. So, you know, he would say baby on occasion. He would say love, don't mind baby. But mama, she is neither a mother nor an expecting mother. And it was giving me the ick. I didn't like it. Now, maybe they had a breeding kink, but it was giving me the ick and I didn't like it. It was like viscerally, I was like, bleh. Every single time it was mentioned. I did not like that. It's a personal preference, so I know that won't bother some people, but it's a personal preference for me. I just didn't like it. So those are the things I didn't like. The things that I did like, I ended up giving it 2.5 stars. I feel really bad about it, and I know I shouldn't. The whole point in an ARC reader is that they're there to give their personal opinion, their honest opinion. I don't want to be telling you guys that I gave it 5 stars or writing a 5-star review to send to her if that is not the case. I am here to give my honest opinion, and that is my opinion alone. It's not the opinion that you should take for granted and say, okay, well, I'm never picking this book up. If there's things that I've said that give you the ick, don't pick the book up. But I'm very excited about book 3. I'm still excited about book 3. I still loved book 1. So, you know, you're not going to like every single book in a series, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. So 2.5 stars for that one, unfortunately. I do still have 2 hours of the Menu of Happiness to read today, so I'm going to focus on that. I'm not going to get to the Spellfire, I think it was called, by Agatha Willow, that arc. I just don't think I'm going to manage to get to it. I am still aiming for Hazelthorne tomorrow by C.G. Drews, so I think what I need to do is accept, not defeat, because I'm still planning on completing said challenge. I'm actually at a point where I just want this challenge to be over. I'm feeling a little bit stressed. I've still got 5 books left to read. So tomorrow will be the C.G. Drews one, Hazelthorne, and then on Friday I'm going to do Pumpkinheads. I would actually also still like to complete this one, which would be really nice. So that's number 3. And then I think I'm just going to go for a couple of graphic novels, actually. I feel like this is the best way forward. Take the stress off and it means that I can dedicate some time to this as well with the physical reading, because right now I'm actually debating pushing this back and just finishing it in November just to get through what I need to get through to get this challenge completed. I just want to move on to my November TBR, in all honesty. So the graphic novels that I've ended up picking up off my shelves, we have Squad by Maggie Takuda Hall and Lisa Sturl, which I think is a werewolf, I nearly said vampire, a werewolf, a fast-paced and feminist horror story for every girl who's ever felt like prey and asks how far a girl should go to hunt the hunters. Sounds fantastic, sign me up. And then the other one that I do have is The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is the Battle for Pumpkin King, and I feel like, again, this one will be very apt and very fun. So I feel like a couple of graphic novels. I've done quite a few graphic novels for this round, but I just needed to get through them. I've read quite a couple of really chunky books, like the entire Edge of Darkness series, just completely pulled me, I don't know, just dragged me from nowhere. And then Tusk Love took me longer than it should have, and I feel like that's put me in a slight slump, ever so slightly. So yeah, I think I'm going to focus on these. And also the Black Girl Survives in this one, until I have the audiobook for Hazelthorn tomorrow, and then obviously Pumpkinheads on Friday. I feel like this is doable now with Pumpkinheads and Hazelthorn. I feel like that is doable. So we'll see how much of this I manage to get through today. It would be great actually if I could get this finished today, but I don't know if that's going to be possible from where I am. I still have about, actually I'm well over 50% there. So maybe it's possible. Maybe I'm about 40% left. We'll see. But this is a physical read, and I read a lot faster on my Kindle, but I just can't get it on my Kindle, which is a shame. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I might actually go and get myself on the couch downstairs and read down there for a little bit, because I've been really hyper-focusing down there recently, and I'm not sure why, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, I think I might go and do that. So let's go and do that and see what reading we can get done. Hello. A little bit of time has gone by. It's now 4:30 in the afternoon, and I have been doing some colouring in. Andy's always moaning that he got me these markers for my birthday last year, and I think maybe a colouring book or two, but he never sees me colouring. It's because I don't do it that often, in all honesty. But when I do, he tends to be at work like today, so I'm going to leave the colouring book and the markers out so he can see what I've been doing. But I've coloured a couple. I'm not very good at it, which is why I end up not doing it very often, because I convince myself that because I'm not as good as other people that I should stop doing it, and that's just silly. But I have managed to do a couple of them while finishing off the Menu of Happiness by Hisashi Kashiwai. So I have done this cute little bedroom, which I think is all right. I'm not great at like the shadow side of things, so I just tend to colour in like a flat colour, but I am trying a little bit. And then I've done this one, which is like a little art room. So yeah, just done a couple of them. I'm going to leave this out in the hopes that maybe I'll do some more. Tomorrow would be a good day to be doing some of this actually while listening to Hazelthorn, that's for damn sure. So now that I have finished the Menu of Happiness, I can give you a review. I am going to give this 4 stars. It was really cute. I love being with these characters, the father-daughter duo trying to help these people go back to a time where they felt pure happiness eating something, whether it was just because of the moment in time that they were in, or because they've lost a person that made them that food, or one reason or another. And I just think it's just so beautiful to spend time with these characters. I do think that sometimes the stories can be a little bit repetitive, like every single person, and I get it, they're new. So, you know, there's a cat that lives outside the restaurant, and the father will not let the cat in the restaurant because it's a place where they serve food to people, and obviously the cat probably shouldn't be in the restaurant. So, but they do claim him as their cat called Drowsy, but every single person that comes when they're leaving, they ask about the cat. And it just feels a little bit repetitive on that front. In this one, previous stories, it's been a little bit repetitive as well. A person comes to the restaurant and they end up sitting down, trying some of the food in the restaurant, and then they go in the back and have a conversation with the daughter about exactly what this meal is. But the daughter always says to them, can you fill this form out for me, please? And that's like the first thing that she says to them outside of being in the restaurant. And luckily in this one, she kind of like stopped asking that question. It would skip over that specific question. It's not a big deal that it's repeated, but sometimes it can get a little bit repetitive. But I just think it's really nice to explore these different types of stories and why somebody might want to revisit a certain meal, even if it's something as simple as curry and rice, which was one of the meals in this collection of stories. And I just think it's really a nice way of exploring why someone might want to revisit a meal for whatever reason. And I just think it was cute. So 4 stars for that one. And that is another arc down, which is fantastic. So really happy about that. That is my second arc in this video. I can't even remember what I've finished reading in this video. Honestly, my head is battered. Yeah, second arc in this video because I finished Hate My Love as well. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Overall for the month, it is my 6th arc for the month, which is great. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the progress. So I think what I'm actually going to do now is read one of the short stories out of here. I think that it makes sense to do that. The next one is a bit of a longer one. I think it's like, yeah, it's just shy of 30 pages long. It's 28 pages long. Black Girl Nature Group by Maka Moolite and Maritza Moolite. Sounds like maybe siblings or partners. So I think I'm going to do this and then do a graphic novel and then come back and do a short story out of here, then another graphic novel, then a short story. And if I do it that way round, short story, graphic novel, short story, graphic novel, short story, I should be about 273 pages in, which is 73 pages, 68 pages further than I am now. And there'll be less than 100 pages left in here. I can continue on with this for the rest of the evening. That would be great. But I think I'm just going to do that, see how I get on. If I'm enjoying the process of physically reading this, I will continue on with it. But otherwise, I will dip in and out and do like a graphic novel and then this and a graphic novel and this. So yeah, enjoying this collection so far. I have had quite the mix of star ratings. I've had everything from a 2.5 right up to a 4.5 star, which was the first story I read in this one. That one was my favourite so far. Freaked me out the most, I will say. So having a good time with this. And I think that's what I'm going to do next. Carry on with this. And then I think I'll do the Nightmare Before Christmas. The Battle for Pumpkin King. Jack Skellington is the undisputed Pumpkin King of Halloween Town, but it wasn't always that way. So I think it's going to be going back to years ago, the fight maybe between Oogie Boogie and Jack. So yeah, I feel like that one will be interesting. So yeah, I think that's my plan. That is what I'm going to do. I don't know what time Andy's coming home. I thought he'd been let go from work early, but apparently not. So it might be another hour before I see him again. He might nip and see his mum, so maybe it might be another hour and a half. So yeah, I should give me the chance to get through a good chunk of this, I think. So let's do that, shall we? Hello, good morning. It is Thursday and it is 8:35. I have the BK Borison event this evening in Liverpool. I do need to have a look and see when's best to get the train to fit in with the event. I think I am going to take the train. I don't want to drive the car all that way at the moment. I did it at the beginning of the month, but I'm just not confident right now in that car. Cargate is still ongoing if anybody was interested. So yeah, last night was a pretty productive evening. I'm not going to lie. I did obviously come on, let you know that I finished the Menu of Happiness and that I was going to move on to The Battle for Pumpkin King. And I did read this one. This was actually really good. I thought that this was a lot thinner than it was. I thought it was going to be like a really quick kids graphic novel. It's still like 120 odd pages and it still had, quite a bit going on page. This was so much fun though. I love anything that revisits The Nightmare Before Christmas and gives us another story to it. So this is pre The Nightmare Before Christmas movie, and it's about Jack and Oogie Boogie when they were younger, and they were actually friends, and they used to have competitions with each other all the time, arm wrestles or races and stuff, and they had like really good healthy competition in their friendship. And then the Pumpkin King says that he has to retire and needs to pass on the mantle, and these two end up against each other, and it turns them essentially. Jack does mention that, like, is it worth it, my friendship with Oogie Boogie? But Oogie Boogie starts to become bad at this point. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars. So that is another one ticked off, and I now only have 3 books left. So I did bring Squad down with me, which was the other graphic novel. But what I ended up actually doing last night, after me and Andy had tea, he was watching both the football and something on his tablet, and had his headphones on, and I sat across from him and decided to actually do some more colouring. I'd shown him some colouring that I'd done this afternoon, because he's always accusing me of never using the pens he got me for Christmas last year. So I'd done some colouring earlier on, and I actually decided to do some more, and I actually just put Spellfire on by Agatha Willow, which is the audiobook, the other arc that I said I probably wasn't going to end up getting to. I just ended up putting it on and thought, I'll see how far I get. Let's see what happens. I got halfway through the book. It was really good. I'll show you in a second what it was that I coloured, but I got halfway through the book. Let me tell you what it's about, because I haven't done that. So I need to finish that off today. I literally have like 3 hours and 40 minutes, so like an hour and 50 minutes left. So I can finish that off. But this one is a witchy romance. So we're following Bryn, who is a witch, and she ends up going back to Grimoire Academy, where she used to be a student. Now, the professor that she used to admire has passed away and left her things to Bryn. So that's why Bryn is going back. But when she goes back, she's not planning on staying long, and the former queen of Grimoire, Amelia Hexford, is now headmistress and asks Amelia to stay and teach the former professor's classes. So Bryn ends up doing so, and a relationship ends up building between the two of them. There is a past between these two in which Bryn's kind of crush that she had on Amelia was revealed at some point, and Amelia kind of did nothing about that. She just like turned away and walked away. So that is kind of coming out about it. But the tropes do say spice, second chance romance, found family, and magical shenanigans. Not had any spice so far, but had some flirting. But it's fun, and it's been a very fast-paced read. So I am 49% through that, and I just did some painting while I was not painting at all. I just did some colouring while I did that. So I had Andy pick a picture for me, and he said, this one's got Paddington on it. It's not Paddington. But I ended up colouring the bear in like Paddington. So I did this one. He wanted the truck grey, so that's what I did. I feel like my colouring, even as I went on through the night, got better. Like, I'm actually really proud of this one. And then the other one that I did end up doing, because like in comparison, this one was my first one that I did, which is very bright. But the other one that I did end up doing last night, that was the one that I showed you after, was this cute little bakery. How cute is this? I'm obsessed with the pink tree. But yeah, it was fun. I had fun while doing that. So I think I'm going to do more of that today. The Hazelthorn has come out, so I do want to focus on that today. I'm wondering what to do about Spellfire now, though. What to do about that one. So I don't know whether to just make my way through it and get it done and dusted and boxed off, and then move on to Hazelthorn, or what. I should have gotten up with Andy really at 7 o'clock. I could be done with Spellfire by now, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to carry on doing some more colouring and probably finish Spellfire and then move on to Hazelthorn, I think, rather than interrupting Hazelthorn at some point today with finishing Spellfire. So I think I'll do that. That makes the most sense, I think. So let's go upstairs. I've got some emails to reply to as well, and get on with the day. Okay, hello. I did finish Spellfire, and it's currently 5 to 12. I'm going to get some lunch soon, but I did finish Spellfire and do a couple more colouring. I did this one. I'm making my way through the book in order now. So I did this one, which I thought was really cute. And then I also did this one. And then I did fill out the little colour guide thing that comes with the pens. So while I speak to you about what Spellfire was about and my thoughts on it, I have something very exciting from N Embroideries. So I'm going to unbox it while I chat with you, and then we're going to put it where it needs to go. So Spellfire, it was good. I really liked the queer representation in this. It wasn't just that it was sapphic between our two main characters, but there was also other queer representation in it, which I really enjoyed. So there was also ADHD representation in it as well, which was really nice to see. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it and had a good time with it. I liked the story overall. Although this isn't advertised as a cozy fantasy, I think that it is a cozy fantasy, and I think I've come to the conclusion that I don't like spice in my cozy fantasy. So the cozy fantasy that I have gotten on with over the years, Legends and Lattes, the Tomes and Tea series by Rebecca Thorne, the Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers, none of these have spice in them. It's insinuated in the Tomes and Tea series, but you don't actually see it on page. So I think in general, I don't really like sex scenes in my book, and I have come to that conclusion with both, not sex scenes in my book overall, in my cozy fantasy specifically. Naturally, I do enjoy spicy scenes. I am a dark romance and romance reader at heart, so I do enjoy a spicy scene elsewhere, just not in cozy fantasy. I've come for the cozy vibes. The spice just feels out of place. So Tusk Love is one example of that, and then Spellfire is another. This was quite spicy once it got going. There was nothing wrong with the sex scenes per se, they just felt out of place within this setting. So I didn't love them overall, but I gave it 3.5 stars. I quite liked it. It was a good time. It was a fast-paced book. It was fun, and I had a good time with it. So I have completed that one, and I am now because I was partway through the second colouring in page that I was doing. So I'm now on chapter 11 of Hazelthorn. I've got 2 hours and 49 minutes left. I'm hopeful that I can still finish this before I go into Liverpool. I'm going to set off about 3ish, I think, albeit the train I think I'm going to get is about 3:40. So I've got some time. I do need to get ready. I think I might try and curl my hair, but I do need to get ready, get changed, have some lunch before I go, get a bag together. I can only take 2 books with me, and I've got a book at the event. So I think I'm just going to take the good spirits that I've actually annotated and read, and I'm going to try and get a works edition as well. But I'm going to get that one signed, and I'm going to see if it's at all possible for me to get another one signed for a friend. You can only have 2 books signed, so if those are the only 2 that I can get signed, that's fine. But I'm going to see if I can get one signed for a friend for her birthday that's upcoming in November. So fingers crossed I can do that. But the exciting thing that has come today from N Embroideries is a new Kindle case. I am obsessed with this. This is an F1 themed Kindle case, and I absolutely love it. And it's magnetic, so when you open it, your Kindle will wake up. And there is also like I love this. This is amazing. Oh, that is also magnetic, so it shouldn't drop or open. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's put my Kindle in. I've been really resistant on doing like the Kindle actual cover in the back. I've just had like stickers over the years because I say over the years, I only got this last year, this specific Kindle. But I love the raspberry colour on this, and I didn't really want to cover it up. But when I saw this, I'm obsessed, and I can't not get it because look how well this matches. Isn't it perfect? And it'll protect the Kindle as well. I'm actually hoping this fits in. It looks like it's going to be a tight squeeze, but it should fit in, I think. So let's, oh yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at her. Don't come for me for having already started a November read. It's a physical read. It's almost 500 pages. So yes, I have started it. So isn't she adorable? I'm obsessed with this. I love it. It's waking up. I love it. Oh yeah, so I can see the cover ever so slightly, but when I open it, immediately goes to the book. That is so cool. And then let's test, just to test the theory. Amazing. I love that. Oh, I love it. It has made it ever so slightly heavier, but because it's a full thing, that works perfectly. Oh, I love it. It'll keep it protected in my bag as well, because I have been noticing that it's been turning on in my bag because the button is pressed. So even if the button does get pressed in my bag, this keeps it protected, won't tap through the thing. So this is so mucky. It's disgusting. I think I'm going to miss the pop socket, but it will take some getting used to with this, but I think I'm going to love it in the end. But I'm so excited about that. Holy shit. I love it. How freaking exciting. I love it. Okay, amazing. I'll leave a link to Ed Embroideries in the description box down below if you're interested in checking them out. But yeah, that's all I have for you. So I am continuing on with Hazelthorn so far, really enjoying it. The guy that is looking after Evander and Laurie has now passed away. It has been written off as a aneurysm of some sort, but Evander's convinced that somebody has killed him, so he's got like a board going and everything with people that are suspects. But yeah, Evander has obviously gotten everything. Laurie seems to be a bit upset about it, but doesn't seem to be that bothered. He seems to be bothered more so about the fact that there's certain people now coming to the house to look after them because they're 17, they still need guardians. So he seems to be more bothered about that. But yeah, it's interesting so far and I'm having a good time with it. So I'm going to continue on listening to that throughout the day. Hopefully get it finished before I go to this event this evening. I'm so gutted that I cannot get this on my Kindle because it would have been finished by now and I really want to finish it this month. I'm mad that I keep coming in saying, oh, I'm continuing on with this, and now in October I'm not going to get it finished. So yeah, it's really annoying me. I just wish they would make books more accessible. I think that every book should have at least a Kindle edition, but an audio edition as well. And I think they should make them more accessible. But yeah, I'm just gutted that this isn't available on Kindle at all. And I can't get access to it on that basis because I've literally got 4 stories left. But it will take me a while to get those 4 stories done. So I could like focus on these for the rest of the day and then finish Hazelthorn tomorrow and not do Pumpkinheads, but I don't want to be rushing tomorrow through anything because I do have some work to do for my dad, and then I've obviously got the pub at 3 till 10. So yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. I will end up taking this with me to town to probably continue on actually with If It Makes You Happy, which is nothing to do with this vlog and will not be mentioned except for now until my next vlog, which will be my first vlog of November. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm going to go, but I will check back in with you later on, probably when I've finished Hazelthorn. Hello. Good morning. It is Friday. It is the last day of the month. It is currently 20 to 10. And I'm going to try and get this done and dusted as soon as I possibly can. So I did, in fact, finish Hazelthorn yesterday by C.G. Drews. I finished it last night when I got back from the event. It was earlier than I thought it was going to be. And I managed to get it finished by about 20 past 10, I think. So success for that. I had 58 minutes left and I did decide to do a little bit more colouring. So the ones that I managed to complete yesterday while finishing off Spellfire and also reading all of Hazelthorn, I did this one. I really love this one. I think it's really nice. I'm trying to learn how to blend. It's not going great, but I'm learning, so there is that. And then I followed it up immediately with this one. And then last night when I got back, I did this pizza one. I don't really like this one, I've got to be honest. I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. So I've done a few now in here, and I ended up treating myself to a new one yesterday because I'm flying through this one so quickly. So I did treat myself to a new one of these yesterday, which will be in a different video. So if you wanted to find out what it was that I treated myself to, it's actually the video that comes up before this one, which is the Ultimate Book video, the Good Spirits edition. BK Borison edition. So if you wanted to check that out, you can do. So yeah, did finish Hazelthorn. I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think I preferred Don't Let the Forest In, actually. I did like that one a little bit better, but because I think I gave that one 4 stars, but I still really like this one. The body horror, botanical body horror for me really freaked me out, but it's one of the reasons I DNF'd 8114 by Joshua Hull, but I liked this one. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was clever the way it was done. I really liked the family elements, and then the whole garden thing, don't go in the garden, because of what had happened, and the way the twists and turns and stuff, and the way that everything came out in the end. I just thought it was really good, and the relationship between Evander and Louis, I think he was called Louis anyway. The relationship between them two as well. The audiobook, very good. Michael Crouch has done a great job with it, who also narrated Don't Let the Forest In as well. So had a very good time. 3.5 stars for that one. And that was my 30th book. So we have one more left to complete. And although I do have the time today to probably try and get through The Black Girl Survives in this one, I think I just want to get this wrapped up, done and dusted. I can wrap up the ultimate book video that's coming up before this one, and I can actually film something else and then get on top of a couple of like Instagram and TikToks and stuff before I go to the pub this afternoon. So I think I'm going to prioritize quantity today of work, just to get the maximum out of my day. I have just done the invoices for my dad, so those are done and dusted. Now it's time to work for myself and then work for the pub later. It's a busy day. I'm working all 3 jobs today in some capacity or other. I've also got a wash in. I want to make sure that that is all turned around and get a second load in, if at all possible, before I go to the pub. Andy's already gone out to spend the day with his mum. So yeah, I'm just trying to get through as much work as I can before I go to the pub this afternoon, because I'm back at the pub again tomorrow, and I'm going to be tired because of being out last night and then being busy, so busy this morning. And then the pub today's 3 till 10, and then tomorrow 3 till 9. I'm going to be really tired tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow maybe more of like a chilled morning, actually maybe doing some reading, just getting into my November reads. So we'll see how that goes. But I am going to wrap this vlog up with Pumpkin Heads by Faith Erin Hicks and Rainbow Rowell. I can already tell you this is going to be 5 stars. I do an annual reread of this every single year, and I feel like this is a nice one to wrap the month off with. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back to you with a complete recap of everything that we've read, a wrap up, and a rapid fire what I rated it. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm not going to give you any thoughts on it. It will be a case of me holding the book up, telling you what I rated it, and that is it. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible for my wrap up for 31 books in 31 days. I can't believe I've actually completed it. There was a moment earlier on this week, actually late last week, where I was like, there's just no way I'm going to manage it this week. And I've managed to find a new hyperfixation, which is amazing. I'm really hoping this lasts, I'm not going to lie, but managed to find a new hyperfixation, which I love for me. And then I have managed to actually get through more than I thought I was going to this week. I really thought I was going to have to do graphic novels and manga to wrap this up to get to the goal, but I haven't had to do as many as I thought I was going to. So I'm really happy about that. Glad I managed to get through Spellfire as well, because I really did want to get to that this week. So I think I've actually managed to stick to the TBR I said I would this week, which is amazing. Yeah, I have. The only thing that has changed is wrapping up The Black Girl Survives in this one. I ended up doing the Battle for Pumpkin King for that one instead, because I haven't quite managed to get this one wrapped up. But I will finish this in November. You will see my thoughts on this in a vlog in November somewhere. I'll try and do it in my first vlog for November, I think, just so that it's done and dusted and boxed off. But yeah, so I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to come back to you and do a complete wrap up on everything that I've read and get this vlog wrapped up. Fuck me, this is really heavy. All right, I read Pumpkin Heads, 5 stars, obviously. So I have my stack. It's really heavy, so I'm not picking it up again. You've seen it in the thumbnail. But it's really freaking heavy. And yeah, let's go through, give you my rating on everything. I don't know if I'll be able to remember every single DNF I've done, because there might be some DNFs here that I don't physically own. So if I've missed something that you've seen in a vlog, My apologies. But I have taken a picture of my core pile on my phone so I can tell you what I've rated everything. So let's go through everything pretty rapid fire and let you know what I rated it. The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James was 4 stars. May Fly by CJ Lead was a DNF. Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood was 3 stars, and Falling by Christina Lauren was 2.5 stars. Below by Laurel Hightower was 4.5 stars, really loved that one. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees was 3.5 stars. Aria of the Beach Forest Volume 3 was 3 stars. We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough, 4.5 stars. Insatiable by Lee Rivers, 5 stars. Voracious by Lee Rivers, 5 stars. Restitution by Lee Rivers, 5 stars. A Guest in the House by Emily Carroll, 3 stars. The Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi, 4.5 stars. The Pale House Devil by Richard Kadri, 3 stars. Graveyard Shift by ML Rio, DNF. Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irvine, 2 stars. Drowning by TJ Newman, 2 stars. Beetle and the Chimera Carnival by Eliza Lane, 3.5 stars. Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson, 4.5 stars. What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher, 3 stars. Hollow, The Woman in White, 4 stars. Tusk Love, 1.5 stars. Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, 5 stars. Free in the Wild by Paisley Hope, 5 stars. Fantastic Land by Mike Bokoven, 4.5 stars. Your Favourite Scary Movie by Ashley Cullins, 5 stars. Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey, DNF for the second time. Coven by Samanche Nani, 4.5 stars. Take My Love by Brooke Montgomery, 2.5 stars. The Menu of Happiness by Hisashi Kashiwai, 4 stars. The Battle for Pumpkin King, 4 stars. Spellfire, 3.5 stars. Hazel Thorn by C.G. Drews, 3.5 stars. And last but by no means least, Pumpkinheads by Faith Erin Hicks and Rainbow Rowell, 5 stars. This was such a good reading month. I did have some ups and downs. I managed to get through so many arcs and I'm really, really proud of myself, or early copies that I've received. And I'm really proud of myself on that basis as well. But yeah, a relatively up and down month. I think the only thing I didn't get was like a complete 1 star, but I got a 1.5 with Tusk Love, which I'm still sad about. But I think I hit every single rating. So it's a pretty decent month if you ask me. Still sad about Take My Love as well, I will say, but I think my most disappointing are Tusk Love and Take My Love for sure. But yeah, really happy about the fact that I managed to get through the whole of the Edge of Darkness trilogy by Lee Rivers. Didn't expect that to happen whatsoever. And then obviously 5 stars with Good Spirits and Free in the Wild, and Your Favourite Scary Movie as well. So 6 5-star ratings, pretty decent. So this is what the board looks like. And according to Storygraph, I read 8,888 pages. Yeah, I think the month went really well and I'm very proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself for actually getting through Spellfire this week as well. I'm really, really happy about that. Didn't anticipate actually managing that this week. So I managed it. 31 books in 31 days. I honestly don't know how I've done that, but I have. And I'm really happy about that situation. Chat to me in the comments down below. Did you do any challenges in October? What was your favourite read of October? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have enjoyed this challenge. I'm excited to get back to some general reading, not having to try and finish a book almost every single day. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. Chat to me in the comments down below and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.